All right, now you've only clicked on this video if you're interested in, you're over 30s, you're a parent, and you have at least 10 kilos to lose, okay? I'm gonna go over a really quick and easy roadmap that you can start to think about if you're stuck and you got more weight than what you'd really like on you. I'm gonna start with one thing, and that is usually whenever I have had a client tell me they wanna lose 10 kilos, it usually ends up being a whole lot more than that. Now, whether that's because we lose more than that or whether that's because actually the person's actually just using the 10 kilogram goal as like maybe just a safety type goal. Because when it comes to lose weight, you're like in this nervousness as I don't know if I can do it or not. So people just go, oh, I want to lose 10 kilos. A lot of the time, if you're seriously think that you need to lose 10 kilos, it's actually probably something more like 15 or 20, but I'll let you be the guess of that. Now, what I'm gonna go over is a really quick roadmap to get yourself thinking about some logistically real things that need to happen for you to actually get yourself where you want to be. Because between where you are and where you wanna be is a whole shit ton of work and a whole bunch of choices and a whole bunch of extra things that you're gonna have to realistically do. Now, I would like to sit here and say, I think there's a fast way or there's an efficient way, and that's why we do coaching and that's why we have people like myself out there helping people. But I'm gonna try and give you some real basic today. And the first one starts with is, don't set your bar this low. So if you think that you have 10 kilos to lose, you probably actually have a whole bunch more to lose. So be honest with yourself and go, how much fucking weight do I seriously need to lose? And what am I actually willing to do something about it? That's really the first piece. The second piece is so obvious, and I've talked about it for so many years. Now, obviously coming back into the fitness industry, I'm gonna be talking about it again, is your diet, okay? We can't hide from it. I've spent millions of hours, or however you wanna call it, days and months training people to do this one thing, which is to lose weight. And at the end of the day, no matter how many times I want to train you, no matter how many times you want to walk into the gym, if you ain't going to fucking sort out what's going in your diet, nothing is going to happen in regards to your weight loss. So your diet needs to be the number one thing. And if you think that a training form, some special way of training is actually going to get you, away from thinking about your diet, it's just another unfortunate reality check that you have to have with yourself. So the first one is your diet. Now, I'm gonna give you a real basic breakdown as to what I would do if I was the average of all my clients over the years as to what I see success. I would say fruit throughout the day. That's gonna give you a shit ton of energy for you to do all the things that you have to do. It's really easy on meal prep. It's very basic, but it's also gonna provide you with a bunch of nutrition, but then also two, a shit ton of energy throughout the day, which is really important. As we get to the nighttime, that's where we probably want a bit more family time. You're probably gonna sit down with your wife or your kids and you're gonna have dinner, you're gonna talk about your day. I think generally as to, who I've sort of worked with over the years in their 30s, parents, dinner's quite an important time. So I would highly recommend on a lean source of protein, okay? And obviously some vegetables, and then actually having some form of dessert, believe it or not. Now, some of you are gonna be following on, and actually I would have some clients following on as well and going, what's he talking about? He's never recommended this to me. What I'm trying to do is give a real basic sort of platform or roadmap for people to actually grasp, and something to actually do. Because if you have 10 or 15 or 20 kilos to lose, doing something as basic as this without tracking your calories, waking up and weighing all your food, doing meal prep for the fucking week, like I hate meal prep. And all my clients know that I hate meal prep, but some clients have to do it because depending on their lifestyle, okay? But if you want an easy roadmap, this is something so simple, but people just don't do it on a regular basis. You might do it Monday to Friday, and then Friday night, the beers come out and the pizza comes out, the hamburgers come out, and all the shit that you probably realistically shouldn't be eating if this is your goal. That's what you need to make a decision on. It's not just doing this 3 or 4 days of the week. It is doing it on a regular basis. Okay, there's one thing that I'm going to say at the very end of this, which is going to combine all of these things. Obviously, there needs to be some tailorship, and everyone lives a different fucking life. I get that. But at the end of the day, these are some real basics that most people could do, but just don't. Okay, 10 kilograms plus. That's what we're thinking. 10 kilograms plus. Number 2 would be, and I don't know how many times I've had people call me over the years as to like, I don't have any time to train, so how am I going to lose weight? Well, yeah, no wonder. You're going to go back to the diet focus, which is predominantly the major thing that actually needs to be changed anyway. But you know what? I'm a personal trainer by trade, and I have trained religiously and very consistently, sometimes more than others, for a very long period of time now, like probably since I was 16 years of age, okay? And at the end of the day, if you can't carve 4 fucking hours throughout your week to train because you think you're too busy, I don't think that the weight loss, I don't think that's gonna stop you from losing weight, but I think that sort of attitude definitely will, okay? I would highly recommend you looking at going, right, Monday, I'm gonna do some weights. Start with 30 minutes. There's 30 minutes on the clock for the week. 30 minutes, just within 24 hours, of course you can do that. A Tuesday would be a 60-minute walk. Wednesday, you could have off because you're too busy. You got to catch up on work, whatever it may be. Thursday, you've recovered from your weight since Monday. You do it again. There's another 30 minutes. Friday, you could have a rest. We're only at 2 hours and we're here now Monday to Friday. Saturday, you could do a duo, a 30-minute weight session followed by a 60-minute power walk with your family, your kids, or something like that. That's what I would recommend you do, and that's what I would recommend you start, and that wasn't even 4 hours, right? That's where I would start. That was 3.5 hours, 2 30-minute resistance training sessions that you could do at home. You don't need a gym membership to do that. You've got walks on top of that as well, okay? Now, that is a very basic way of me saying to you, at the end of the day, I think everyone's body needs to move. And if you're not going to move it, the whole weight loss thing is going to be seriously a hard fucking thing to achieve. Definitely not impossible. If you've been following any nutrition advice or any weight loss advice whatsoever, everyone knows that you can lose weight without doing exercise. But why would you want to? You're going to lose weight, you're going to be all frail, and you're going to feel like shit. You know what? Training and fitness is actually what makes you feel really good combined with a really good diet. But you know what? Like I said, I've been in this game for a really long time, and my diet is not 100% perfect, and it never ever will be. So the training is where I actually get majority of my benefits from. And 4 hours a week, like, I don't care what sort of hours that you are doing, and I've done some pretty crazy hours in my time. In regards to work, there is always time to carve out for training. It just depends on whether or not you're going to get to your goals, okay? The third one is something so basic, but everyone talks about it, but no one really does it. And I talk about this with clients all the time, is what is your daily step count? 10,000, 12,000, like if it's anything below 10,000, seriously, you need to get off your bum more and you need to start moving. And again, the debate with that is, I haven't got any time. You need to make the time. So that might mean you're walking, you know, the structure of training that I've just quickly elaborated might actually have to quickly change because you're doing walks more often. So first thing is we're gonna go back to the first one, which is you probably don't have 10 kilos to lose. You probably actually have a lot more than that. So shoot for the actual goal and don't just sort of semi-aim for this little goal and hope for the best. Shoot high, okay? Point number 2, which is really just where it all comes down to, is your diet. You need to hurry up and do something about your diet. If 10 kilos is the goal and above, it won't matter what training you want to do or how many steps a day that you want to do, your diet needs to be changed, okay? The third point is, like I said, yeah, your fitness matters. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been a trainer. Otherwise, I wouldn't train. Honestly, if majority of the time that I'm training is because I want to stay healthy or stay at a healthy weight or within that sort of range anyway, training is massive. And if you can't carve out 3.5, 4 hours on average per week, you really need to shake up your lifestyle because, yeah, I would highly urge not working with someone who couldn't just provide 4 hours a week to do some form of training. Like, seriously, it'd be a bit of a joke if you can't. And hey, you might dispute that. That's your lifestyle. You do what you need to do. 12,000 steps per day as a minimum, or 10,000, somewhere around there is where you should be at, right? Everyone's got a bloody tracker these days. Get one, it's that quick. Now, what I want you to understand at the very end of this video, which is really gonna sum up all these things, because that's really where we're at, is that if you do this, this will actually have a cascade effect, okay? Or like a waterfall effect, where if you start doing these things, these aren't the only things that you can do. There are many others, and there are a lot more tailored things that we could be doing to change your lifestyle, to make it even easier, which is like what my job is actually all about. But it's a start. And I have this happen every time I work with a client, is that, yeah, initially it's all about accountability and Nathan calling you and asking you all these questions and blah, 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 blah. But by us digging down into your lifestyle and digging down into all the things that you are doing, what we are starting is a cascade effect into all the things potentially that you could change. And that's where we start to find all these amazing things where people have more time. Like, I'd been working with a lady for 6 months and her steps were okay. And then I started to dive into her diary, and her availability to do a lot more walking, excuse me, was like huge. I was like, hey, let's do some more walking. So rather than trying to focus on always eating less and blah, 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 blah with the diet, you know what? Like, coming at it from a fitness perspective, just, it's adding stuff. It's more positive. I'm a big proponent of adding things. Subtracting it's just a dead end game at some stage anyway. All right. 10 kilos or plus. Hit me up if you have any questions. Bye.